Someone has to say it because a lot of people need to hear it. But this whole lone wolf, I'm strong independent, I don't need anyone, it's just sad. You think it's cool maybe, but the reality is we know you're just coping. And I'm not saying it from a point of judgment, I'm saying it from a point of empathy because I've been there. I started early in my childhood as someone who didn't have a family, calling the kids who had to go for dinner or had a time to go back inside lame and how cool and free I was. But in reality, I could have used some home cooked dinner and some nurturing. But this is what we do. When we can't get what we want, we learn to want what we can get. But coping is not healing. And the thing is, I know that people who say that they have been hurt, abandoned, and they're just trying to prevent that from happening. Ironically, I just cut my finger. It doesn't mean I'm not going to go next to sharp objects. I'm just going to learn from that experience and try to avoid it happening in the future. Because isolation kills. If you think about it, that's how we punish people, by putting them in prison, taking them away from their community and the support that comes with it. And ironically, people who beat their chest around strong, independent, and don't need anyone are the ones that often also complain about the state of the economy and how expensive and hard everything is. But that is the cost, because you think inconveniencing yourself to try to nurture, create a community around you is not worth it. You now have to buy that community because, believe it or not, we're not that independent. It's 1 in a 10 million individuals that can go into the forest and forage and build shelters and tools for themselves without using anything that anyone else made. And if you see this video, that's definitely not you, because that device that you're watching me on is definitely created by a bunch of other people. And that's okay, because it's part of the human need, a sense of belonging, to find ourselves a sense of meaning within a community. And that's why the state of the mental health, it is what it is, because we want to be needed and to have a sense of importance. And that means not to feel more important than others, is to feel that you are important to some people, to your community. And often nowadays I see people trying to take a shortcut and have a sense of belonging by attaching themselves to some label. But that is not how you secure your position, because if you are one of the thousands that carry that label, therefore you are replaceable with anyone with that label. The only way for you to have a secure sense of belonging in any relationship or community is to do it as yourself, finding a way to provide meaning or some sort of service or value to a community as your authentic self, because that's the only way you can secure your place. Because only you can do you. But if you try to emulate what other people do in order to give you this false sense of safety in groups, you find yourself feeling very unsafe in that position because you make yourself replaceable. And that's a choice that we must make. Yes, self-reliance is also a human need and something that we should strive towards. But we should not lie to ourselves that we are capable of being fully autonomous or independent. We have to find a way to work with others. And if we don't have an environment of competent people, because that's another issue that people have nowadays. They surround themselves with people that they like, because often is an echo chamber that doesn't challenge them. But that stunts your growth, and really you should have a better balance in your life of people that you like, but more importantly, respect. Because maybe like me, I can appreciate someone I like, but I respect someone that is competent. And that competence and bartering with whatever skill sets we have is what's been the success for humanity, division of labor. And we can help each other without having to go to our corporate overlords and buying it. Just something to consider. Protect your peace.